Industria is a story-driven sci-fi horror shooter with light exploration and looting mechanics. Developed by Bleak Mill, a Berlin, Glasgow-based team, and rightly so, being that this game takes place in Berlin and strong influences of the end of the bleak time period of oppression driven by disagreements amongst anti-fascists and anti-anti-fascists. The wall falls and alternative history science stuff begins. 1989. The Atlas Group, which sounds as original as the name implies, has what can only be described as a machine capable of doing some interesting things I won't spoil. It's within the first 15 minutes you gather all this info, but I decided to keep the story aspects light within the bounds of this review as the game is short but sweet. Sweet because it does exactly what it sets out to do within its 4-hour runtime. I worked 6 days a week and it took me 3 weeks to get what I wanted out of God of War Ragnarok. I enjoyed that game, but please respect my time. I understand some people do nothing with their lives but stare at a screen and die slowly, like sticking Granny in front of a TV and saying see you later to the old folks home, but I myself am 25 and I need to pay the tax man, or I should say tax lady. But all that being said, this is straightforward and doesn't ask much of the player but to wear good headphones and enjoy what's presented. Whoever made this loves video games and cares about the medium. Here's what I loved. 5 weapons, 4 hours, fantastic art style which can only be described as Industrial Revolution meets a dash of apocalyptic existential horror. Weapons feel weighty and responsive. The combat feels stiff at first, but you get used to it. The voice acting is great for the small production team, and I respect the writers and voice actors here as both played their part to not make what could have been tacked on shite interesting. Enemy design is cool. Nothing super original, but cool. Shoot the robots and bits fly off in chunks and it looks great. It's a short game so it doesn't get repetitive. Non-diegetic sound is extremely adamant and used lightly or sparingly, but when used, capitalized on perfectly. The soundtrack comes and goes naturally. You have to play it to understand. Imagine The Last of Us, but very, very subtle. There are certain sequences that play out like a David Lynch movie, which can be a negative for smooth brains, but don't think many of those will play this unless it's got a battle pass and a royale mode. I've said a lot of positives here, and I did like this game. I think it's worth your time, and I think you should look after small devs. Unfortunately, there are a few things I didn't think were too flash on the PS5. I got anti-alias tearing and random issues in the screen. Obviously it's on console, so there's nothing can be changed to fix these issues. And that's it. So do I recommend Industria? Yes, on a sale. Drop a cheeky $15 for 4 hours of enjoyment. This is tying me over till Castello Protocol drops on Friday.
Something is not right here.